Red Bull just finished pre-season testing with over 2,000 laps completed. 0 major failures. 12 degrees cooler engine temperatures. And up to half a second per lap hidden in upgrades that most fans barely noticed. The FIA has now validated new technical evidence from Bahrain. Not speculation. Not rumor. Data. Verstappen was running conservative engine modes. Map 4. And still averaging 0.4 faster than Ferrari on long runs. 344 km per hour on the straight without drag reduction. No energy clipping. No overheating. And now, for Australia, Red Bull is bringing a fully integrated upgrade package. New blown diffuser side pods. Revised front wing geometry. Airbox winglets. Diffuser extension. Refined Ford engine mapping. Projected gain? Up to 0.5 seconds per lap. In modern Formula 1, that is enormous. If these upgrades perform in Melbourne the way simulation predicts, Red Bull does not just arrive competitive. They arrive structurally ahead. And by the end of this video, you will understand why Australia might quietly reveal the true ceiling of the Ford-powered RB22. So let's break down what the FIA actually confirmed after Bahrain. Because the headline is not just speed. It is validation. Red Bull did not spend testing chasing a single spectacular lap. They focused on mileage. 2,026 laps completed across the 3 days. That is a record. And more importantly, 0 major mechanical failures. When a team runs that much without drama, it tells you something. The foundation is solid. The Ford-powered RB22 is not fragile. It is stable. Now look at the race simulations. This is where things start to look uncomfortable for the rest of the grid. According to leaked GPS telemetry, Verstappen's long-run pace was roughly 0.4 per lap faster than Ferrari during comparable stints. 0.4. Over a full race distance, that becomes dominant. But here is the detail that changes everything. He was not running the most aggressive engine setting. Map 4. Conservative deployment. Energy being managed carefully. And still, Sector 2 was consistently purple in many sectors. That means the aerodynamic platform was doing the work. Not raw power. Balance through medium speed corners. Rear stability on throttle. Confidence in direction changes. Now let's talk about the Ford engine itself. Because there were questions before testing. Would the integration be ready? Would cooling be efficient? The answer from Bahrain is clear. The power unit ran 12 degrees cooler than projected competitor benchmarks. No visible energy clipping on the main straight. Top speeds touching 344 km per hour without drag reduction. That is not just about peak horsepower. That is about efficiency. Thermal management. Hybrid deployment precision. And cooler temperatures mean tighter bodywork packaging. Tighter packaging means cleaner airflow to the diffuser. Which brings us directly to the Australia upgrade package. Internally labeled Spec 1.1. The side pods are the centerpiece. Blown diffuser version 2. A deeper undercut. Airflow merging toward the G-line. Hot air from the Ford unit being directed to energize the diffuser itself. That converts waste heat into rear downforce. Projected gain? Around 0.2 in medium speed corners. And Melbourne's middle sector is defined by exactly that type of corner. Then comes the front wing revision. Completely new mainplane geometry. More camber. Rebalanced outboard flaps. Specifically targeting the slow corner hesitation Verstappen mentioned during testing. Estimated gain? Roughly 0.15 in Sector 1. Add to that the airbox winglets and refined mirror mounts. Small details. But they clean the airflow before it reaches the rear wing. 5% more rear stability, particularly in crosswinds. And Albert Park is notorious for unpredictable gusts. Finally, the diffuser modification with rear crash structure extension. Improved airflow expansion. Better traction out of the final corner. Stronger acceleration onto the main straight. Now combine those numbers. 0.2 from the side pods. 0.15 from the front wing. Around 0.2 combined from diffuser and airflow refinements. Total projected gain for Australia? Up to half a second per lap. Half a second in modern Formula One is enormous. But the most important part is this. These upgrades are integrated. Cooling efficiency enables tighter packaging. Tighter packaging improves aerodynamic flow. Aerodynamic flow enhances diffuser performance. Front wing geometry balances the extra rear load. It is one system. And when correlation between simulation and track is 100% validated, as Red Bull confirmed in Bahrain, development becomes predictable. What they simulate works immediately. So as Australia approaches, the question is no longer whether Red Bull is competitive. The question is whether the RB22, with this fully integrated Ford-powered upgrade package, is about to reveal performance that was never fully shown in testing. Because if the data from Bahrain holds true under race pressure, Melbourne may not just be the season opener. It may be the moment the real gap becomes visible. Now we move from projection to pressure. Because testing numbers only matter if they survive race conditions. Bahrain gave Red Bull clean air, controlled programs, stable temperatures. Australia will give them traffic, safety cars, dirty air, and sudden track evolution. That is where the real test begins. Albert Park looks smooth on television, but it punishes rear instability. Long direction changes through turns 9 and 10. Heavy braking into turn 3. Traction critical out of the final corner. If the blown diffuser concept truly adds around 0.2 in medium speed sections, that is where it will show. Because medium speed balance is not about peak grip. It is about confidence. And confidence allows Verstappen to attack. Now think about tire degradation. In Bahrain, Verstappen completed a 57-lap simulation with only 1/10 per lap drop-off. Best on the grid. That is not accidental. The rear stability from the updated aero platform reduces sliding. Less sliding means lower tire temperature spikes. Lower temperature spikes mean longer stints. In Melbourne, that could open a one-stop strategy while others struggle with degradation. But here is the subtle tension. Verstappen admitted the car can feel slightly nervous in very slow hairpins. The new front wing aims to correct that. If the update delivers immediate front-end bite into turns 1 and 3, qualifying improves. If it does not, pole position may still be close between Red Bull and Ferrari. And that matters. Because clean air is everything in Australia. Now let's connect the engine again. The Ford unit running 12 degrees cooler is not just a statistic. Cooler engines allow more aggressive hybrid deployment. They reduce thermal stress when following another car. And they provide margin during safety car restarts, when drivers suddenly push hard again. No energy clipping in Bahrain means sustained deployment down the main straight. In Melbourne, that translates into defensive strength. If Verstappen exits the final corner cleanly, and the diffuser upgrade improves traction as projected, the acceleration advantage compounds. And once Red Bull controls track position, they dictate tempo. Now consider the integrated nature of this package again. Side pods increase rear downforce. Front wing balances front load. Airbox winglets stabilize airflow in crosswinds. Diffuser extension enhances exit traction. Engine mapping reduces lag at race starts. It is not about one spectacular feature. It is about alignment. And alignment is what makes a car predictable. Predictability wins championships. But here is the real question. Did Red Bull hide more than we saw? Sector 2 purple mini-sectors on conservative engine mode suggest up to 0.8 may not have been fully shown in Bahrain. If even half of that is unlocked in Australia, the gap becomes structural. not temporary. Structural. And structural advantages are nearly impossible to copy in weeks. Other teams can revise a wing. They can adjust suspension geometry. But replicating a fully integrated cooling and aero concept tied directly to engine thermodynamics takes months. Now imagine this scenario. Qualifying is tight. Ferrari close. Maybe even pole. But on Sunday, Verstappen controls degradation, maintains consistent lap times, and slowly builds a gap. 0.2 here, 0.3 there. By lap 25, the race feels inevitable. That is how dominance starts. Quietly. Without drama. So as the grid lands in Australia, the real story is not just whether Red Bull is fast. It is whether the RB22, with its validated correlation and integrated Ford upgrade package, has already moved beyond competition into control. Because if Melbourne confirms the projected half-second gain, the season narrative may shift before anyone fully realizes it. And once that shift happens, chasing becomes survival.